Hello, this is Mr. Molo going over your homework from yesterday, the writing equations for parallel and perpendicular lines. So we're going to go over one problem from each, one that's parallel, one that's perpendicular, and then hopefully you better understand it. And the cool thing about this is then you can watch the video over and over again and kind of see where I got the numbers from. So we did 22 yesterday in class, so we're not going to go over that one. So we're going to look at number 23. So our directions say write an equation in slope-intercept form for a line that is parallel. That's kind of our keyword, parallel, to the given line and passes through the point. So we're going to start by writing this in slope-intercept form. So remember, slope-intercept form is y minus y1 equals m. And then in parentheses, we have x minus x1. Okay, and then remember, y always stays as y. The y1 is going to change. That's the y that they give us in the problem. M is still our slope. X is going to stay as x. And then the x1 is the x they give us from the problem. So let's write down what we know so far. So y equals 1/2 x plus 5 is the equation they gave us. So that means our slope is 1/2. And since these are parallel lines, we know parallel means our slope is the same. It doesn't change. So our slope for our problem is 1/2. They give us an x in the problem, and that x is 4. They also give us a y in this problem, and that y is -3. Okay? So I'm just going to rewrite what we know so far. We're going to switch colors here so we can better keep track. So y, that's not red. It's still not red. There it is. So y minus the y they gave me in the problem, which is -3. So remember, minus a -3 is the same thing as +3 equals m, which is 1/2. And then parentheses, I have x minus x1, and the x1 they gave us in the problem is 4. So step 1 is going to be to write out the problem, so no math required yet. And then step 2, we have this distributing step that we'll do in green. So I have y plus 3, didn't touch that side yet. 1/2 times x is just 1/2 x. And then 1/2 times a -4 is a -2. And then our last step is we're going to do the inverse operation. So it says y plus 3, so I need to minus 3. So -3 from that side and -3 from that side. So after I simplify -2 minus 3, I'm left with y equals 1/2 x. And then -2 minus 3 is -5. So that's how we would do a parallel problem. Let's scroll down here and look at one of these perpendicular ones. Like, let's look at number 34. So same thing, we're still going to do y minus y1 equals m and x minus x1. Okay, but this is a little different because now this one is perpendicular. Make sure we read the question carefully. To this line. So right now our slope, it says, is y equals -3x. So we have -3 as our slope. So we need to figure out what is perpendicular to -3. Remember, it kind of helps if you write -3 over 1. So remember, perpendicular means the opposite reciprocal. So the opposite reciprocal of -3 over 1 is positive 1 over 3. So our new slope is going to be 1/3 x. They still give us here 6. And the y they give us for this problem is -2. So again, we're going to do those same steps we just did. So again, kind of step 1, no math required. We're just going to write it out. So y minus y2, or the y for this problem is -2. So minus a -2 ends up being a +2. Our slope now changed to 1/3. And then x minus the x they give us in the problem, which is 6. So x minus 6. And then step 2, we got to distribute here. So I still have my y plus 2 here. 1/3 times x is 1/3 x. 1/3 times a -6 is a -2. Then our last step here, it's a +2, so I'm going to -2 from each side. So I'm left with y equals 1/3 x minus, -2 minus 2 is negative 4. All right. And then so the answer for number 25, so that we all have it, can check our work, is y equals 2x plus 5. For number 27 is y equals 3x plus 13. For number 31 is y equals 4x minus 23. For number 32 is y equals 1/2 x minus 4. I just did 34 with you. 35 is y equals negative 1x plus 1. 43 is y equals 1/2 x plus 6. And 44 is y equals negative 1x plus 5. All right, so that'll do it for this homework review then. So there will be another video to follow to help us with the review for the test tomorrow.